The night my wife posted a picture sitting on her ex's lap, she said it was harmless. But what I discovered changed everything.
My wife, Alina, spent nearly an hour choosing her outfit for a casual meet with friends. She kept checking her reflection, changing earrings, and fussing with her hair. I told her she looked beautiful, but she barely reacted. She seemed distant, more focused on her phone than on me. When she finally left, she just said she'd be home late and rushed out the door. At first, I didn't think much of it. But an uneasy feeling settled in my chest, a quiet dread I couldn't shake. I tried to lose myself in work, but my mind kept drifting back to her strange behavior. Later that night, I opened social media out of habit. The first thing I saw felt like a punch to the gut. It was a photo of Alina sitting on another man's lap. The caption read, "Sometimes you miss the old days." Her smile in the picture wasn't forced. She looked comfortable, too comfortable, and the man, it was her ex-boyfriend Eric. A hot anger rose behind my eyes. My hands shook as I read the caption again and again. People were already commenting. Some were joking about nostalgia, others were asking if I knew. My fingers flew across the screen. I typed a short, sharp comment, "Interesting post for a married woman." Within minutes, the notifications exploded. People were reacting, some shocked, some questioning her. Almost instantly, the post was gone. A moment later, my phone rang. It was Alina. I didn't answer. She came home faster than I expected, her face a mask of fear. "Why would you embarrass me like that online?" she demanded. I just looked at her. "Why would you embarrass me first?" She tried to laugh it off, calling it a joke. She claimed Eric pulled her onto his lap for the photo, that it meant nothing. She said she just wanted a little attention. Her excuses were flimsy, falling apart as soon as she said them. "So why did you miss the old days?" I asked. She said she didn't mean it literally. "Have you been talking to him?" I pushed. She hesitated. That tiny pause, that flicker of indecision, told me everything I needed to know. She finally whispered that they had reconnected recently. "Do you still have feelings for him?" I asked, my voice barely steady. She insisted she didn't, claiming she just missed being young and carefree. "Marriage isn't a cage, Alina," I told her, my voice rising with frustration. "You don't need to sit in another man's lap to feel alive." She rolled her eyes. "You're exaggerating," she said. "It was just a picture." "You're trying to control me." The conversation twisted into something painful and ugly. My heart felt like it was shrinking in my chest. I couldn't breathe. I needed space. I grabbed my keys and walked out. I drove for hours aimlessly, just trying to calm the storm in my head. When I finally returned, she was sitting on the couch, looking small and guilty. She apologized quietly, saying she never meant to hurt me, that she'd made a terrible mistake. "Was the mistake the photo?" I asked, "or the secret feelings that came with it?" She didn't answer. Silence can be so much louder than the truth. That night she cried herself to sleep. I lay awake, staring at the ceiling. The image of her and Eric burned into my mind. Her smile, his hands, the easy comfort between them. It played on a loop, each time a fresh stab of pain. The next morning she was overly sweet. She made my favorite breakfast. She hugged me longer than usual. It felt like a guilty hug, not a loving one. "We need to talk seriously," I said. She nodded nervously. I explained that trust isn't something you can just glue back together. I told her that our marriage needed boundaries. She said she understood. She promised to block Eric and focus on us. And for a moment, I wanted to believe her. Later that day, her phone buzzed repeatedly on the counter. Curiosity, or maybe just a gut feeling, pushed me to look. It was Eric. "Why'd you delete the post? Did he get to you?" My chest tightened. I confronted her right then and there. She stammered, saying she meant to block him but couldn't decide on the right way to do it. She didn't want to hurt his feelings. "What about my feelings?" I asked, my voice flat. She fell silent again, and in that silence I understood. She wasn't confused. She was choosing. She was weighing her emotions, and I wasn't her only priority. That truth settled in my stomach like a block of ice. "I need clarity, Alina," I told her. She begged me not to leave, her eyes welling with tears. "I love you," she pleaded. I looked her straight in the eye. "Do you love him too?" Her face crumpled with panic. And she didn't answer. Her silence gave me the answer I dreaded most. "I'm stepping away," I said, my voice firm, "until you figure out what you truly want." She tried to hold me, but I stepped back. Pain doesn't just disappear because someone regrets getting caught. Healing has to start somewhere, and for me, it had to start by walking away. I packed a small bag. She cried and promised she would cut all ties for good this time. "You need to prove that with actions, not words," I told her. She reached for my hand, but I pulled it away gently. Trust isn't rebuilt overnight. As I walked out the door, she whispered my name. The sound broke my heart, but it didn't stop my steps. Sometimes the hardest choice is the only one that makes sense. And sometimes losing someone you thought was your everything is the first step toward finding yourself again. Thanks for listening. If you're going through something tough, remember you're not alone. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories.